What up, what up, what up? So USA Indoor Championships just finished off here in Ocean Breeze. Day one finished off, my bad. I'm gonna hit y'all with 3 videos today. Today. So I'm gonna quickly just talk about what happened day one here at USA Indoors. The next video I'm gonna probably talk about Jamaica, well, I don't know, depending on the time, but you know, the Jamaican with the Gibson relays. And then I'm gonna talk about some of the NCAA results, because but first off, USA Indoor Championships, day one. Again, I did my preview saying like, are the sprints and the jumps and the hurdles, are they a little too weak? You know, I'm a little disappointed. I wish there was more quality across the board, but we got some great performances. Men's 60-meter hurdles, I'm gonna go across the board. Men's 60-meter hurdles, Trey Cunningham was the favorite coming into these championships. He had already ran 7.37 seconds, making him the 7th fastest athlete of all time indoors. In the heats here, he comfortably ran 7.38 to comfortably go into the finals. But in the same heat, Dylan Beard, he had actually run 7.4 seconds, if I'm correct, and he looked very good. Now, because of how comfortable Trey Cunningham looked, I don't think I was like, oh, Dylan Beard is going to take him down. But in the final, Dylan Beard took Trey Cunningham down, running 7.37 seconds, while Trey Cunningham ran 7.40, if I'm correct. And again, if I'm getting these things wrong, cross-check me. I'm doing this off the top of my head. Dylan Beard showed up. Like, Dylan Beard absolutely showed up. And unfortunately, Trey Cunningham didn't, show up to the moment. Now, let's be clear. Both of them are going to the World Indoor Championships, right? Trey Cunningham, he was there in 2022, finished, I think, 5th or 6th place in the final in the 60-meter hurdles in, in Glasgow. Dylan Beard, this is going to be his first World Indoor team. He did make it to the World Championships last year, I think making it to the semifinals in the 110 hurdles. Dylan Beard said that he had not practiced leading up to this. Like, this whole week, I think he said he took the week off. There was one point, I think on Tuesday, he had, tried to get on the track, and then he was like, nah, I'm not feeling it. So he just took the rest of the week off. He was dealing with some niggles and some injuries, but picked things up as he got here in New York City, and he just flew 7.37. That makes him now tied with a whole bunch of other guys, like Trey Cunningham had, number 7 all time in the 60-meter hurdles. This is big. This is very, very big. Now, the question is consistency at the World Indoor Championships, because you have the Szymanskis, apologize, getting his name right. But you have a couple other guys who are going to be in that conversation when we do get to the World Indoor Championships. So we'll see what, Dylan Beard, what Trey Cunningham, what they're able to do, because the hurdles are not easy. They are not easy. But after that, we did see Aaliyah Armstrong. She was able to get the win in the 60-meter hurdles for the women. Nothing too crazy in terms of the time, but what was interesting is Grace Stark, she was injured, so she was not competing here. She got injured, I think, in Europe. You also had Christina Clemens, who I might have seen as one of the favorites to make the team, but she unfortunately pulled out of the meet. She was a do not start here. So I thought that Alicia Johnson might be the woman who's probably the most consistent. She had run sub 8 seconds in the rounds, but in the final, Alicia Johnson false starts, runs under protests, and I think she does. I forgot. I couldn't see it properly from where I was standing, but she runs under protest. She technically does finish in the top 2, but isn't able to qualify because she did false start. That gave it to Aaliyah Armstrong, who was able to get the win and book her ticket to her first USA team, since 2022, right? 2022, she made the team to the World Championships outdoors, and she finished 4th place at the World Championships in Eugene that year. So this is big for her. Really, really big moment for Aaliyah Armstrong, and I'm really excited to see what she's able to do. She's been having a resurgence over the past year and a half or so. She dealt with a bunch of injuries, after 2022 while she was at LSU, just a bunch of ups and downs, but, she was able to really get back in the fold, and I'm excited to see what she's able to do. But those are the hurdles. Tomorrow we got the 60-meter dash. In the field, though, the field events really showed up here. They really showed up here. The women's long jump, this was a competition between Jasmine Moore, you had Claire Bryant, and you had Monet Nichols. Those are the only 3 women who actually had the World Championship standard and were already qualified for World Indoors. But USA could only take 2 athletes to World Indoors. So it was going to be between between 2 of them. Jasmine Moore shot things out early and really just, closed things out early. She jumped 6.86 meters, which tied her season's best for the year. None of them were able to match that in terms of Monet Nichols or Claire Bryant. So Jasmine Moore, she locked things down. Last year, she didn't make the team in the long jump. In 2024, she did make the team, but she unfortunately, I think she pulled out, which I forgot. She actually just told me. But so this, she now wins. She has a spot in the triple jump. She's already good, so she's going to be going to World Indoors in both events. The triple jump is tomorrow, but like she's the only one who has the qualifying mark. Behind her, though, that's where things got interesting. Because at first, Claire Bryant, I think she was leading with 6.5 meters. Or 6.5 meters or something. And then we saw Monet Nichols. She got out to 6.6 meters for second place overall. That brought her into second. And Claire Bryant, oh, I'm sorry, she jumped out, my bad. Monet, I got you. My bad. She jumped out to 6.72 meters for second place overall. Claire Bryant was unable to respond. She jumped out to 6.6 on her final attempt, but that wasn't able to surpass Monet Nichols. This was a good competition overall. This was a really good competition. Had that little bit of drama. Obviously, the long jump is not super high profile, but I really liked watching this competition and kind of following the results as, again, Jasmine Moore gets her first long jump title at USA Indoors, going to World Indoors for both events. Monet Nichols, World Indoor silver medalist from 2024 Indoors. She is now going to World Indoors. I know she was kind of hesitating. She was like, but listen, Monet, go. You know what I'm saying? Go. And then Claire Bryant just missing a spot. You know, she's a world indoor champion from 2025 last year, but, you know, she's going to be focused on outdoors. We'll see how that actually does pan out. Shout out to the women's long jump. Shout out to Russell Robinson in the men's triple jump. He was the only one with a standard, so he didn't jump really far. I think he jumped 16.5 meters here. Nothing too crazy. He didn't even peak for this meet. He was just training through. It is what it is, but he's going to World Indoors in the men's triple jump. I'm excited to see what he's able to do. Men's pole vault, we saw Zach Bradford get out to 6.01 meters to get the win. Personal best, meet record, first time over the 6 meter barrier. That was a really great performance. He was like elated. He couldn't even take it all in. And he beat out a relatively strong field. You're talking about Casey Lightfoot. You're talking about, Chris Nielsen. You're talking about athletes who are high quality athletes, on the world stage. I mean, all of them are, but this was a very good pole vault competition. Shout out to Zach Bradford, for getting that 6 meter jump. Women's shot put. This is where we saw Chase Jackson. She was able to not only win the competition, but set an American record in the women's shot put here. And I mean, she just shut things down. Now, Chase Jackson, she's been to the World Indoor Champs a bunch of times. She's gotten medals, and she's an outdoor world champion, but she doesn't have a gold medal indoors in the shot put. So she even said, listen, I'm tired of doing indoors, but I'm not going to finish things up until I actually get that gold medal indoors. So she's on a mission to be able to, go to the World Indoor Champs and get that gold medal. We'll see. The shot put is never easy, but Chase Jackson, she has that experience. She has that talent. She knows what it's like to compete in a high pressure competition and to compete against the best in the world. We'll see if she's actually able to, pull that out here. Women's high jump, we did see Huffnagel. She was actually able to get the win over Vashti Cunningham. Huffnagel did jump 1.96 meters. She has a world championship standard. Vashti Cunningham, she jumped 193 meters and doesn't have the world standard. I don't know. She might go to a competition. I'm not exactly sure. She was, seems like she wants to go to World Indoors, but, we'll see what actually does pan out. But overall, a really exciting day one at USA Indoor Championships. Of course, we saw the distance stuff for sure. Definitely check out Citius Mag Podcast. They're going to have a whole recap of all of that. And we did see the 400 meter rounds. Nothing too special or everything went to chalk in my opinion. Caleb McRae, Chris Robinson, they're probably the top two low-key by far. On the women's side, Paris Peoples, Rosie F. Young, Shamir Little, I'm not sure exactly who's going to make it, but shout out to Shamir Little. She's now training back with her old coach, Vince Anderson. Old coach in terms of he was her coach at Texas A&M. He's training, I think, in Houston, and, she's out there. So shout out to her. But, we'll see. Let me know what you think about the first day of USA Indoors. And again, I got a couple other videos coming. Thanks for watching, y'all.